Guys, Zach here, coming at you with another video. Today I'm going to be talking about Mario and Luigi, the RPG series. Now, I'm not going to go into a whole dramatic spiel of, oh, why am I talking about them? Let's get into the video. Now, I'm not going to do that. We already know why I'm going to talk about them. It's because the company that develops the Mario and Luigi games, Alphadream, has shut down. And, they filed for bankruptcy and all that, and, there's a whole big thing behind it. There's a whole reason behind, them shutting down, and it's relatively sad, and that's where I'm going to cliffhang you guys. So before we get into today's video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Every like and comment helps. And also, make sure to go down in the description down below and buy yourself a ZakPak t-shirt. I love my shirt, and I want to promote it, so promotion. There you go. Buy my shirt. Good. So, let's get into today's video.
ZakPak, he's always there for you. ZakPak, only on YouTube. ZakPak, what will he do next? ZakPak, let's find out, 'cause it's on with the show.
So like I said, Alphadream is the main company behind the Mario and Luigi RPG series. Now they have developed a few other games, but it's mainly been Mario and Luigi, the past few years. So I'm going to tell you guys my take of it. Well, before I tell you my take of it, getting ahead of myself, I'm going to tell you why they closed down. And it all comes down to money. They filed for bankruptcy. I think the translation from yen to dollars, I think it was about $3 million they were in debt. And they were like, we can't keep going, we owe too much, this is just too much for us. And, there's a lot of people, out there, because they didn't really explain why they were that much in debt, if it was because they mismanaged money, or if the development for the newest games, set them back so much, they couldn't make as much as they spent on the development, which I'll get into in a little bit. And it's really, really weird because, the Mario and Luigi series is pretty popular. Lots of people swarmed out to get those games, especially Dream Team and Bowser's Inside Story when, the Mario and Luigi series was at its peak, was at its height. A lot of people were buying those games, a lot of people were talking about it. So, it seems so weird that Alphadream would just go under. Now, one thing to get straight here before we get into it is Alphadream is not part of Nintendo. They are a third-party or maybe second-party developer. They are not connected to Nintendo. Yes, they make the Mario and Luigi games, but it's kind of like next level games with Luigi's Mansion. They are a completely different studio that makes these games for Nintendo. They are not an actual part of Nintendo. So obviously, it's very possible, for them to lose money and, fall under. But what I don't understand is why did they fall under? It's kind of confusing to me, right? Because they developed some of the most popular Mario games, being the Mario RPG games. Lots of people have been telling me before this news came out, they were like, I want a new Mario and Luigi game. You should talk about Mario and Luigi. Lots of people wanted me to, say the possibilities of a new Mario and Luigi game. And then literally just the other day, this happens. So it's kind of ironic in a way, but I think there's multiple different issues here. Firstly, I think they could have mismanaged their money. They probably, spent too much development, or too much, money developing the Mario and Luigi 3DS games, particularly the remakes. Now, here's where another thing comes in. The fact that they made those two remakes, I think, does play a role. Because apparently, from what I've heard, Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, the remake, sold abysmally. Horribly. And it makes sense, because I've said this since the beginning. I said this a while ago, back when this news came out of the Inside Story remake. Why was it on the 3DS? Luigi's Mansion, I could just be mad at because they're porting a GameCube game to the 3DS. I can be mad at that, whatever. But they're porting a DS game to the 3DS, a system that can run the game that they're porting. It didn't make any sense, The Superstar Saga was one thing, that was a Game Boy Advance game. You can't play Game Boy Advance games on the 3DS, at least without any, hacking or homebrewing. You can't easily play 3D or Game Boy Advance games on the 3DS. But DS games you can. And if you're a fan of Mario and Luigi, then you probably have the Bowser's Inside Story for the DS, so you would already basically have it for the 3DS. So the only reason to get it at that point was for the visual upgrade and for the extra mode, which I don't even remember what the extra mode is. Was that Bowser Jr.'s Minions, or was that the other side mode? I forget which one's which for which game, but either way. So you're putting all your development costs into this new game. Now I get it. It reuses assets, it does all that, but there's still development costs behind it. It still costs a decent amount of money to make the game, and it does not sell well. It sells abysmally. That's got to play a role, right? I mean, think about it. We're at a point. I think Bowser Inside Story. I think that came out recently, right? Didn't that come out this year, 2019? Either 2019 or late 2018. But either way, came out for the 3DS at a time where the 3DS really is dying. Like the Switch Lite put the 3DS Lite or put the 3DS in its grave. The Switch Lite has taken over. 3DS is gonna be no more. Like that's how it's gonna be. So I mean, we haven't heard anything about the 3DS the past few months, and it's like I don't know how you could be making 3DS games anymore expecting there to be a big audience, because there really isn't now. So many people have the Switch, where it's like, especially with now, people like, let's say Luigi's Mansion, for example, the remake for the 3DS. So many people are now looking back and saying, wow, that game should have definitely been on the Switch. Something I've been saying since the beginning. So, now it's like, all the games that are now coming out for the 3DS, people are like, why was it not on the Switch? Luigi's Mansion Remake, WarioWare Gold. Why were those games there and not on the Switch? And you can now say the same for the Mario RPG remakes. Mario or Superstar Saga, Bowser's Inside Story. Why were those on the Switch? Like the Switch, the new system. It'd be one thing if they came out in 2014 or 2015, but this is 2018, 2019 we're talking about. So, So one point someone brought up in their video, I want to say it was Arlo, is that it's very possible that, since, Alphadream has always been on a handheld console, that they would not have the experience to bring a Mario and Luigi game to a home console. And while I think that's possible, Nintendo is loaded with money. If there was a serious outcry for a Mario and Luigi game on the Switch, Nintendo could have sent people over to help out Alphadream make this possible. Like, it's not impossible for Alphadream to make a game on the Switch. I'm sorry. Like, the thing is, right, game development, it's not just one person who's doing it, and if they can't do it, hope is lost. They are teams of people. They are teams working together to make this game, and it's not just developers. It's design artists. We have the design of everything, and there's the 3D modelers, one who make the models. There's the people who are the writers and the music composers. So there's different elements of a team that makes a video game. So you can't tell me that, let's say this team of Alphadream has 50 people working on these games. You can't tell me that Nintendo couldn't send over 10 or more people to be added to their team so that they can actually make HD Nintendo Switch games. So I really think that Arlo has a point that maybe the team of, behind Alphadream can't make Switch games. And you know what? If they can't, that's fine, They've been developing for handheld consoles their whole career. Maybe the HD Switch isn't their cup of tea. They can't do it. But what's to say that Nintendo couldn't send people to help out Alphadream? And same financially. I mean, Mario and Luigi series is a big success for Nintendo. Maybe not as big as, like, New Super Mario Brothers or Mario Kart or Smash Brothers. But there have always been kind of decent sales, and like I said, people have been coming to me wanting to cover that series. And for a channel that mostly specializes with Luigi's Mansion, having people want content about other games, and that being one of them, obviously there's an audience there for it. So people like the Mario and Luigi games, but I think that it's not just Alphadream's fault. I think some of the blame could be put on Nintendo here too. Because like I said, Nintendo have a thing with not really listening to the fans, not really listening to the people who want these games to be a reality. So, if they knew that Alphadream was struggling and that more people wanted a Mario and Luigi game, they could have told Alphadream, hey, we'll lend you a few $1 million, but you gotta make sure to make this really, really good Mario game for us. We'll bring you out of debt, but your profit margins are going to be a lot cut because we need them. Because of it's basically like paying us back for having to give you money, to get you out of your trouble. So I think there was ways that they could have worked around Alphadream's bankruptcy. It's unfortunate, that there's, that they went under, but let's just say also, it is not impossible to see another Mario and Luigi game. They could get another team to work on it. They can get more like a different developer, And as much as it would suck, because it probably will suck, because, we see games like Mario Party when they change developers, and in my eyes, Luigi's Mansion when they change developers. You have that changing hands thing, that Metroid Prime. They had a whole issue because of Metroid Prime changing developers' hands. They put it back to the original team. Like, here, you guys take it. We can't do it. There's always an issue with Nintendo when it comes to changing developers. And if that happens to the Mario and Luigi series, then that's the loss of another good series, It kind of sucks. I mean, what can you do? It's relatively unfortunate, but if they can bring back the Mario and Luigi series, make it better, and I'm not saying make it better because Alphadream couldn't. I'm saying make it better because Alphadream would want that. The team behind Alphadream, in my opinion, I didn't love every single Mario and Luigi game. Heck, I never played Paper Jam. I probably wouldn't have liked it. I mostly liked the original 3. Superstar Saga, Partners in Time, Bowser's Inside Story. Granted, because those are the only ones I've played. But you could tell, for each and every game, they definitely put the passion behind it. Each game was consistent. Each game was what a sequel should be. That's what I was talking about with Luigi's Mansion, right? Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon changed everything Luigi's Mansion was. But with the Mario and Luigi series, it was the same game, but completely different concepts. Like Bowser's Inside Story, now you're exploring the inside of Bowser. It's the same fundamental game. It feels the same, but it's different in the way that it is. And I don't know how to describe it. It's really, really weird. But nevertheless, guys, let me know what you guys think down in the description down below. Will you guys miss Alphadream? Did the Mario and Luigi series mean a lot to you growing up? I loved Superstar Saga. It's personally my favorite in the series. That's why it kind of shocked me that I didn't buy the 3DS remake. I don't know. I just didn't feel like the remakes were necessary. And like I said, I feel like that contributed to the downfall of Alphadream. So, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed. And until next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video.